Why do you feel that today it's not really appropriate to have a pastor who is the pastor of a church? And by the way, we're not talking about the pastor who's the cult leader I'm talking about a pastor who places himself under accountability, and he has accountability to a board of elders and such, but still someone who functions, if you will, as the spiritual leader of that particular congregation. While that may not be the type of model that was structured in churches 2,000 years ago, padded pews weren't around then either. So other than, well, that's not how they did it 2,000 years ago, what's wrong with culturally using that model today?
Well, there'd be a number of things to say there. Number one, I think that what happens is that the oversight of Jesus as being the leader in all churches is missed, because you can't deny from all the literature that's been published on the pastoral office that there's a lot of weight put, and I quote some of those in the book, that there's a lot of weight put on this one office, and it appears to me that that's a deflection from the Lord's headship over the church. And what happens is, and this is well documented, is that when you put that much weight on one person, many of them crack and they can't handle it. But I'm suggesting that the Lord never intended that to be the case, and it's not something about culture. It's something about the patterns that we see in the New Testament that would be well for us to pay attention to. And I think that, and as I say in the book, if the 500 senior pastors of the 500 largest churches in America were to resign today, the whole thing would be thrown into a tizzy, because they're so dependent on that one gift that if that one gift leaves or dies, then they're worried about the money coming in. They have to find a replacement very quickly, or else they're afraid the attendance will go down. Paul said the body of Christ is not one part, but many. But the way we have stacked the deck and how we do church, it ends up pretty much being the body of Christ as one part. We've put so much weight on one part that I suggest that's the fundamental problem, is that, and many people are beginning to question this whole way of doing things, and it's not helping the people who are in the pastorate, and it's not something that I would say is in line with what is revealed by the Lord in the New Testament.